It's Monday, June 22nd, 2015, and let's talk about what happened this weekend over at xdadevelopers.com. First up, we're going to head straight over to the forum because there's some awesome news. XDA member Shakalaka was messing around with ADB on his Asus ZenFone 2, and he managed to figure out a way to unlock the bootloader. It requires you to root your device, and it might be just a little bit risky, but things here on XDA usually are. If you guys are interested in it, I might be able to put together a video doing this to my ZenFone 2 later in the week over on my channel, so leave a comment down below if that's something you'd like to see. Mario posted an article to the portal talking about how you can force your Moto 360 to update to Android 5.1.1, and he gave some of his thoughts about how it's been working for him so far. Carphone Warehouse in the UK has announced that they've got the Sony Xperia Z3 Plus in stock now, and they're going to be bundling it with a pair of Sony headphones as well as some free music, which is a pretty nice deal. It'll be available for £40 per month, or about £550 off contract, and in addition to the black and white colors, they've also got an exclusive ice green color. Panasonic has finally gotten around to launching their Lumix CM1 Android camera here in the US this weekend. It has a 20 megapixel 1-inch sensor, a Leica lens, and it runs Android KitKat. The specs on it are really not all that bad. 1080p screen, Snapdragon 801, 2 gigs of RAM, and it can do 4K video, but only at 15 frames per second. And it's $1,000. Really just a confusing device all around in my opinion. Sounds kind of like the Samsung Galaxy camera, but nicer hardware at a really high price. I don't know. In a bit of an odd turn of events, Canadian carrier Kudo has apparently discontinued the HTC One M9 just a few months after it was released. In a Get Satisfaction post for the Kudo community, a high-ranking member there said they're doing away with it due to lackluster sales, but some of the stores may still have it in stock. So if you're in Canada on Kudo, you may want to check your local store if you're interested in that device, because it might not be there much longer. Definitely not great news there. Apparently quite a few people that have the LG G4 have been experiencing touchscreen issues with it, including missed taps and lagginess in general. LG USA's head of marketing responded to a question over on Twitter by telling the user to check for an app update that had just been posted, but apparently the app update was just for the LG keyboard, which does help people that have been having issues with the keyboard, but not really with anything else. At least they do seem to be aware that some people are experiencing these issues, and they are working on it. For whatever reason, I guess I've just been lucky. I haven't experienced any of those sorts of issues myself, but that may have to do with the model I'm using, the H815 International version. But I did see in the forum somebody, at least one person, mentioned they had that model and they were having the issue. So maybe I've just been lucky. Either way, do be on the lookout for more updates to come. Amazon has announced a developer preview of their next version of Fire OS for their devices. It's version 5 and it's based on Android Lollipop. It's currently only available for the Fire HD 6 and the 2014 HD 7, so if you've got one of those two devices and you want to see what Amazon's idea of Lollipop looks like, you might want to head on over to their site. I went ahead and signed up to check it out on my HD6, and so I might put together a quick video looking at it over on my channel as well if there's any interest in that. Motorola has started rolling out Android 5.1 to their first generation Moto X, starting in the US, Canada, and Brazil, and I'm sure other areas will come through soon enough as well. They've put up some release notes over on their support site if you'd like to take a look at what's changed with this version. And to wrap things up, there were a couple of discussion articles posted to the portal. The first one asked for your thoughts on whether you think BlackBerry moving to Android would actually be enough to save them. The second one asked if you actually use your phone's speakers to listen to music. I know I usually complain about phones if they don't have front-facing speakers, but more often than not, I tend to use my phone with some sort of Bluetooth connected device. Speakers, headphones, something like that. And finally, there was a Sunday debate asking, out of all the big chipset manufacturers out there, who do you think is going to be the big winner moving forward? Qualcomm has a pretty strong foothold right now, but with the little bit of a blunder they had with the 810, do you think it's possible someone else is going to step up and seize the day, as it were? Leave your thoughts on that over on the post. I'll link to that down below. But you know what? That's going to be about all from me for today. You can find the links to all the stories that I talked about down in the video description as usual, as well as the links to my YouTube channels. Remember, if you like this video, please do leave us a like down below the video. We definitely appreciate it. And subscribe to receive all of our videos as soon as they become available. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.